She has everything millions of people dream of. A corner office on the 34th floor, her name on the door, a bank account that means she never has to think about the price of coffee. This morning, she signed a $40 million contract. By tonight, she was sitting on her bathroom floor, unable to remember the last time she felt anything besides tired. Sarah Whitfield, 34 years old, vice president of business development at one of the largest consulting firms in Chicago. From the outside, a perfect life. Forbes 30 under 30 at 27, marathons instead of weekends, a lakefront apartment on Lake Michigan, bought without anyone's help. Her mother still shows the neighbors articles about her. But there's one detail no one knows. Sarah can't remember the last time she cried. Not because she's strong, but because she forgot how to feel anything that deeply. The night she signed the $40 million deal, the whole office gave her a standing ovation. She raised her glass, smiled for the company's internal Instagram. 20 minutes later, she was throwing up in the conference room bathroom. Not from alcohol, from a body that had finally started screaming what she'd refused to hear for years. Her father was an engineer who never got the promotion he deserved. He told her, again and again, since she was a little girl, success is the only thing that will protect you. People can betray you. Love can disappear. Achievement lasts forever. Sarah believed it like a religion. Straight A student, full scholarship, the fastest promotion in the company's history. Every new step was supposed to bring that feeling, finally, but it never lasted more than 3 days. Then, emptiness again, and the need to find the next mountain. Her sister Kate called at 11 at night, in a panic. Her marriage was ending. Sarah declined the call. She had a presentation at 7 a.m. 3 days later, Kate sent one sentence. "Don't worry, I already found someone to talk to when things get bad. A therapist, because clearly, you're not the one." Sarah read it in an elevator, and for the first time in months, she cried. Right there, surrounded by strangers. Her therapist. Yes, she finally went only because her assistant insisted after the third panic attack in the office. Asked one question that broke everything open. "Sarah, when was the last time you did something not for the outcome? Just because you enjoyed it?" She tried to remember. A childhood hobby. A simple walk without a productivity podcast in her ears. A conversation without a hidden agenda. She couldn't remember a single time in the last 8 years. At the celebration for the deal, in front of the entire board, in front of 200 employees, the new CEO takes the microphone to thank Sarah. Instead of thanks, he announces that her position is being eliminated. Part of post-merger optimization. The very merger she had just closed. Right there, on stage, under applause that hadn't even finished. The worst part, she smiles. On autopilot, her body keeps performing the role, even as everything inside her collapses. That night, she doesn't cry at home. She opens her laptop and starts sending out resumes at 2 in the morning. Because stopping is more terrifying than any humiliation. Her therapist tells her, "You were just publicly fired, and you're job hunting 6 hours later. You're not grieving the loss. You're running from the silence it created." That's when it hits her. She's not afraid of failure. She's afraid of the day she'll have nothing left to achieve, because then she'll have to face the question that's haunted her whole life. Who am I when I'm not being productive? 3 months pass. Sarah has no job, no plan, nothing to put on a resume. But when Kate gives birth to a daughter, Sarah is the first person at the hospital, not squeezed between meetings just because she could. She holds her niece in her arms, looks at this tiny face that hasn't achieved anything, hasn't earned anything, and is already loved unconditionally. Kate, still weak from labor, says quietly, "Thank you for being here." Sarah doesn't answer right away. She just looks at the baby, and for the first time in 15 years, there's no smile for the camera on her face. The final frame holds right there. Silence, a baby in her arms, and Sarah not rushing to be anywhere else. If you're watching this and you recognize even a little bit of yourself in Sarah, write one word in the comments. The thing you last put off for something that felt more important. Maybe someone reading it will realize they're not alone. And if you want to see what happens next with characters who are also finding themselves after the successful life stopped feeling right, stay. There are more stories like this one on this channel.